This is Dave Baker from Forged in Fire, and you've been listening to the Reverend and the Reprobate. And this is why you really shouldn't listen.
You went from stuntman to historic weapons recreation specialist. You've got photography hobbies. You are a motorcycle enthusiast. There seems like there's a lot there to unpack. How did you get into not just blacksmithing, but into such a specific area of historic weapons recreation specialist?
Well, not growing up helped a lot.
Okay. Okay.
I started in the entertainment industry in 1980 when I left my hometown of Riverside, California, and moved to Hollywood, which was like a 60-mile move.
But yeah, it's not that far, except during traffic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
9 hours later.
Well, yeah, in LA traffic today. Back then, not so bad. So I started as an actor. Moved to Hollywood to I was studying dance at the time.
What?
It was the 80s. You could actually make a living as a dancer. Did a lot of work through the early 80s as an actor. And eventually just was so, after my son was born, it was looking for work. I mean, you spend your entire life looking for work when you're an actor. You might make a lot of money on a gig, but the gig takes a week to film, and then you're looking for work again.
Yeah.
So it's like constantly being unemployed. And that kind of stress when I had a young son, I had my son when I was 26, it was just a lot. So I left the industry, and God, what did I do? Oh, that was the next career. Of course, the entire time I was acting, I was working in the restaurant industry. So I was managing restaurants, and then I went to work at a landscape company with a partner. Did that for 5 years. Got back into the restaurant industry. Opened 5-6 restaurants for a couple of different companies, and during that entire time, I was still I was teaching actors how to fight. So I was teaching theatrical combat, and there wasn't a lot of places to find the weapons to use to teach. So eventually, I knew how to weld, so I kind of made some. They were really rough, and then that snowballed. I did a production and a Shakespeare production. I did the weapons for it, and the production coming behind us was another Shakespeare production. They said, "Well, can you do the weapons for us?" I said, "Well, yeah, you're paying me." Really? So that started to snowball, and then I went to work for a set company, a set design and prop company. Built sets and was a lead man for them for a number of years. And that gave me the opportunity to travel around and do some really fun stuff. I mean, I was in 2001, the VH1 Music Awards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember the giant Missy Elliott head.
Yes.
I was inside that. I was the cracker in the wrapper.
That is awesome. So your milkshake was bringing the boys to the yard.
Eyes and the jaw and the smoke and everything else.
That's wild.
So yeah, and I did a bunch of those crazy kind of things like that. I did Hunter S. Thompson's funeral.
What did you do at Hunter Thompson's funeral?
Yeah, I was the site liaison for the construction team that built the monument.
Oh, wow. See, he's a guy that I'm completely fascinated with. I read Hell's Angels when I was probably in 7th grade, and then just ran through every bit of his work that I could put my hands on.
Yeah, I didn't get him until someone told me that you have he writes in the spoken language, so you have to kind of read him aloud.
Yeah,
you have to give the character a voice in your head, and then everything flows so much better. An amazing yet somehow tragic character. As a person, kind of trapped by his myth.
Yeah.
But yeah, so did jobs like that. They were a lot of fun. Did a bunch of videos for Missy Elliott. Did did stuff, Home Shopping Network. I mean, I was bounced all around the place. I built the home studio for, or was part of the team that built the home studio for the country music station in Nashville.
Really?
Country Network, yeah, their home studio. We built that in Nashville. So did a lot of that, and then through that, developed my own prop company specializing in the historical weapons, and that kind of took off in 2000 when I did a show. I love this. I did a show called Queen of Swords, and sorry, let me get that camera. If Queen of Swords was, I think it was on Fox.
Okay.
It was like a female Zorro thing.
Kind of a Xena warrior type.
Yeah, but California,
yeah,
1800s, and it was hilarious because she's the only girl with those kind of curves in the entire town.
Yeah,
and then she like puts a piece of underwear on her head and nobody recognizes her.
It's like clearly that's.
I just looked it up. All 22 episodes.
Like I'm pretty sure this masked character is Kim Kardashian.
I loved it. It was fun. I mean, I didn't go to Spain to film it, but I was building things in California and shipping them to Spain. I sent my mother a text or an email telling her that her son had finally become an international arms dealer.
That's awesome.
I like to say, in my career, I jokingly say I failed in an upward direction.
I can relate to that.
I did a career for a while and it didn't work out, but I learned a lot in it. And then I did a career for a while and it didn't work out, and I learned a lot from it. And I did a career, but they kept getting better. The career path was an upward trajectory of failures.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, making weapons for a living seems like a nice thing to fall into.
Man, literally, it's like, I mean, it's a passion. I mean, when I was a kid, if I picked up a stick, it was a sword. If I went to a museum, I was pressing my face against the glass, looking at the knights in armor. And now I've had the opportunity to get behind the glass and actually pick up the real deals and study them. And then my job now is to literally recreate them. So I can't imagine a better job for me than this show, in that I get to make the weapons that I want to have anyway. I get to play with them, and I get to watch other people try to make them. So, and then comment on it. It's like, wow.
So what's
and they pay me to do it. Yeah. That's the cool thing.
That is a pretty awesome perk.
I know, yeah, because this is what I did when I was at home anyway. I mean, before they paid me, I'd look at other people's work, comment about it, make my own toys, and play with them. So
yeah, I also am a critic of other things, but I don't get paid to do it. That painting's bad.
Yeah, Art and I don't get along. It's one of those things, and I try to be very careful about it, in that I don't do any kind of critiquing or criticizing of people's work outside of the show.
Yeah.
All I try to do is inspire them to make more of it.